Okay, and we are live. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I'm so excited to be here with my friend, Jessie Beardslee. I have known Jessie for, gosh, how long has it been, Jessie? It's been a couple of years now, I think, at least.
It has, yeah. We were pandemic friends.
Right. We went through a coaching program together and we have stayed in touch. And Jessie is a confident stylist and does such amazing things with fashion and design. And I'm going to let her, because I will botch this introduction. I'm going to let her tell you about herself. She has her own store. She lives in the Finger Lakes area in New York on the East Coast. And so I want to give her the opportunity, but real quick, those of you that are watching us, and I'll remind again throughout, you are more than welcome to comment. In order for us to be able to see who makes the comment, you need to give StreamYard permission. So up in the description, there should be a link. Once you do it one time, you don't ever have to do it again. And that way we will know who's making the comments. Otherwise, it just comes up as Facebook user and we won't know who you are. So with that, Jessie, thank you so much for being here with us. I would love for you to share with my group what you do and because I know how passionate you are about it. So tell us, give us a little bit of a teaser of what you do and who you are.
Thanks, Sandy. I'm so excited to be here with you. So thank you for the invitation. And I love being in this beautiful Facebook group that's so vibrant and thoughtful and feminine and powerful. And those are all really important characteristics for me. And as you said, my name is Jessie Junko Beardslee. I am a fashion designer and a confidence stylist. My business, Themis and Thread, is turning 10 years old next month. And it has changed a lot over the years. And as Sandy and I got to know each other, we were in a coaching program, as she mentioned, and I was really pivoting my business, which was based on sustainable style, fashion collections, fashion shows, selling products, manufacturing products, and I had a really strong desire to shift out of the manufacturing and to focus more on service rather than sales, and connecting with women and helping women feel good in their skin, in their bodies, and in their clothing is something that I'm really passionate about. So working as a stylist with more of like a holistic, spiritual, connective philosophy is what I do now and what my main focus is with Themis and Thread and my program Fashion Therapy that really guides people to reconnecting with themselves and expressing who they really are, what their passions and values are through their personal style. And I think that that is just the ultimate life hack. And I want to see more women taking control of their image and more women in charge. And this is an excellent avenue to support women in that capacity.
Absolutely. And as I had shared with you when we were talking about doing this, and I think I probably have shared it in the group before, but there's a lot of the ladies in this group that when they joined and I asked them the question in the group, what's your biggest challenge with confidence? It's about a lot of them, it's their appearance and their weight and, all of those things that go along with that. So this is, what you do. And that's why I wanted you to, to come in here and talk with the group, because regardless of what size you are, I mean, I'm not small by any stretch of the imagination. You can still have so much fun with fashion and it can still boost your confidence and all that. So I would love for you, and before I do that, here's a comment. I don't know who this is. It says, hello, girls. But this is an example because it just comes up as Facebook user. So hello, whoever this is, make sure you give StreamYard permission so we know who's saying what. So just wanted to share that little hi, girls. But Jessie, if you could share with us how, in your estimation, how do style and fashion help with confidence, or what can we do to with those in those areas? And I know color is a big part of that. So if you could
Yeah.
share with us kind of your passion on that.
So there's a million ways, really. There's so many ways that style and fashion affect confidence. And I love that you mentioned that. I mean, I don't love it. I understand and respect that you acknowledge that so many women are struggling with confidence. And I feel like that's the heartbreaker. Like, just imagine what we could all do if confidence wasn't a hurdle for us to climb over. Because honestly, girls, I see the fellas with very few barriers to confidence. And it's, it's that like mediocrity, but like the male mediocrity component where we're like, how does that dude who doesn't have these qualifications feel so confident to just do this thing and experience this success when I'm more qualified and I've worked harder and I want it more than he even does? So like, building up confidence is the component that we deserve to really be able to focus on. And yeah, like I said, there's so many ways that fashion does it. And when I first start thinking about it, the term like security blanket kind of comes to mind. And if you think about things that that make you comfortable and make you feel good, sometimes those things can even be things that you hide under, though, and that like show up differently. But we have these really interesting relationships with these things that we put on our body every day. And many specific garments that we own have like energy imprinted onto them. So like a lucky pair of socks or something like that. We identify and connect with emotionally with certain things and then put them on our bodies and then have that physical reminder on us. And then it kind of like exudes through us. That's just like one way. We also, like, I'm wearing a jacket, and if I were to, my jacket isn't buttoned, but if I were to button my jacket and feel how that tightens at my waist, it kind of makes me like sit differently. And I can just imagine having a shirt buttoned all the way up and a necktie on, and the way that like certain things like fit you can actually physically change how you are holding your body. And holding your body is a really important part of how you feel. If you're slumped over, if you're fidgety, if something doesn't fit right and you're moving all day, that can affect how you feel. And it can also affect how people look at you. And then you're having this relationship where somebody else is reflecting and you're making up this story in your head about what their perception of you is. And that can be either supportive or damaging of your confidence. And I really aim to support women in intentional dressing and reclaiming their image. And knowing that you look good helps you feel good. So if you stepped into intentional dressing, perhaps that day you're going to feel like you got it going on and you have conjured this confidence that gets to stick with you for the day because you're not worried about, is somebody noticing something? Am I untucked here? Can you see a nipple? Like all of these like little things that maybe if you take the time to be a little bit more intentional about in the morning or when you're getting prepared, that can support you throughout the day without having to second guess yourself and stress out and then like look at somebody, look at you and make up this story that could or couldn't be going on in their head. And of course, as you said, color is my love language. I love color. It's so expressive. It's so important. It's so energetic. And I think that everything that we put on has an energetic output. And when other people are seeing that, it's imprinting on them. When we're seeing that in the mirror, it's imprinting on us. And I feel like there's almost infinite ways that clothing, fashion, and style can affect your confidence throughout the day.
So to follow up with that, what you called it intentional dressing? Is that what you said? Is that the term?
Yeah, just dressing with intention. Absolutely.
So what would you say to somebody who feels like, but I don't go to an office. I'm just doing stuff around the house, or I'm just going to the store, or, it's just more casual versus,
Yeah.
I guess more casual versus like business. What would you say to
Ab-
somebody?
That's definitely an important question. And I feel ya. I feel everybody on this question. And the truth is, we know this, especially as women, that we are so hard on ourselves and that we can be our own worst enemies. And that continues throughout the day. Even if we're not seeing anybody else, we're seeing ourselves. And maybe you just like pass by a window, you're not even looking at yourself in the mirror. But every single time you encounter your own image, looking down, like I said, passing a pane of glass, not even looking in a mirror, looking in a mirror. And if you're looking at that image of yourself and you're feeling bad about it, then that can affect you dramatically. And also, I've spent years working by myself in a studio, in my home. So I've been the person that wore my pajamas all day long and didn't shower until 3 o'clock, or forgot to brush my teeth, and realized that because I'm so in love with my work and so absorbed with it, especially when it was just me creating art, like in fashion pieces. I know how easy it is to lose yourself in your work and get carried away, and to totally forget that it is important to get up and put your clothes on. And there's like little things that can help. So like we're all so different. So that's why my work with fashion therapy is done one-on-one. But for me, things that help me feel put together are putting on shoes. If I'm working from home, which I do often, just put your shoes on. Put on some lipstick. You can be super comfortable too and look a million different ways. And not to say that the only things for us to consider are to be looking professional versus casual. There's a million things in between, and professional and casual can and should look different for everybody. And when you're working, of course, like having appropriate clothing that is supporting what you're doing, keeping you safe, keeping you comfortable, keeping you agile, all that's important. But it's also important for you to look and feel good while you're doing it. That right there is my most passionate message, is that I say you can change a system and still look and feel good. You can do anything and still look and feel great. And in fact, the better you feel, the better you look, and the better you look, the better you feel. It's a beautiful cycle. It goes around and around and around, and it helps you not just feel good. Of course, it's like great to feel good. That's cool. But it helps you perform. It helps you be better. It helps you be more successful. It helps you achieve the things that you're here to achieve and to support the people. Sometimes that's just putting love out into the universe. And that is a really, really important job. And that deserves a really cool outfit that makes you feel awesome.
I love that. I would add that it also, it doesn't, I love that whole thing, putting love to the universe, putting love to yourself, because it doesn't matter. You don't have to do it because you're trying to attract a partner, or, feeling good about yourself, and that is the most important person that you want to impress, in my estimation. So.
Absolutely. And I think that it's just so wild that socially, societally, we've decided that it's okay to live long, full lives where we are not the most important person in our own lives. Like, I don't get it. Like, who fed us that? Who like told us that this is the way it is and we're supposed to just accept it? I mean, if you are not living your life for yourself, I beg you to consider giving it a shot. Who in the world should be more important in your own life? This is the one that we got. This is the body that we've got. This is the time that we've got. Let's kick it our style.
Agreed. Now, you've mentioned color, and I brought it up. In your recent challenge, you talked about our power color. So, kind of a twofold, why is that important, and how do you find what your power color is?
Your power color is super important, and all color is important. Color is energy. We all have different and unique relationships with it. Color can attract or repel for certain reasons. You can't control what somebody else's relationship to a color is, but it's really valuable to consider color as an energy source that we can use to our advantage. Color tells a lot of stories, and I think that playing with color is really fun. And I understand that not everybody is going to love every color. And the truth is, not every color looks excellent on every skin tone, like color combination. So there are a lot of ways to go about figuring out what colors are right for you. I offer a professional color assessment, but I also do an energetic color reading, where really what I'm doing is helping using my gifts and skills of my kind of wonky alternate vision to see your auric kind of synergy with colors and how that like works with your personality and your lifestyle and your passions. So if you just think of like the things that light you up, maybe you are a nature lover and maybe you love the ocean. Like those things are important parts of who you are, and sharing that through your color story on your body can be really powerful. But your power color is something that you feel really good in, first of all. So the feeling is more important than the look, the color. But when you put your power color on, it's also a color that other people notice you in, that people say that color looks great on you. If there's a certain color that you're getting compliments from regularly, pay attention to that. That's important. It should be a color that you like. Definitely. It's like your power color is something that you're going to feel good in, you're going to like wearing, and other people are going to say other things to you about liking seeing that. So when I work with my fashion therapy clients, I do take them through a process where I help them define this. But a lot of this work with the power color is about your relationship to a certain color and how you feel wearing that color and how you feel being seen in that color. So there's some magic to it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I know for me, there are certain colors when I wear, I know I get a lot more comments, than, and I feel better in them. I like bright colors and the pinks and when I wear those really, intense jewel tones, I get a lot more comments. So.
Yeah, so if somebody wants to, there's a lot of reasons. My work isn't specifically designed to make you be seen just for the sake of being seen. There are lots of reasons for us to want to draw attention to ourselves, and most of us don't want to draw attention to ourselves, or at least we say that we do. And we're really sending mixed messages to the universe, because maybe we say, I would love to affect change regarding this issue that's so important to my heart. And then we say, but I don't want to be seen. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to get up in front of people and talk about it. And those are our insecurities, and that's lack of confidence that's holding us back. And that's not an easy mountain to climb, but we can use our fashion to help tell the story before we can open up our mouths. So I want to hear women's voices, and I know how frigging hard it can be to open up your mouth and say something that's important to you. And I just got to say, you got to do it, first of all. But you deserve to have support. And that's what this is all about, is raising your energetic frequency with the things that surround you, that are physically touching your body and that are like emitting your energy. And when people are complimenting you on your colors, they might not know exactly what it is that they like, but they know that they're seeing something that jives with you and they're hearing part of your story. So it might be hard for us to open up our mouths and speak, but we can let our fashion do some of the speaking for us sometimes. So if you want to be seen, if you want somebody to know something about you, think of what that color represents and like how you could put that on your body. Red is the color that we all see. Red is like the first color that everybody sees. It can mean passion. It can mean power. It can mean aggression. You know, every color has so many different stories, but just thinking about what it is that it means to you and then dressing yourself in it and seeing how the world reacts to it.
That's awesome. Love this stuff.
I mean, it's the best. Color's the best.
I know. You also talked about during the challenge, but you talked about our body being an altar. Yes. Would you explain what that means to our listeners?
So I talk about your body being an altar and dressing it. And I think that the how, you know, like, okay, I'm going to put this thing on me like I would put this thing on my altar. The how is like a little bit more easy to understand, but the why, I think, is a little bit more important, because it kind of goes back to what I was saying, that we're living these lives and maybe not like considering ourselves to be the most important person in our lives. And it's like thinking of yourself as an altar, I think, kind of brings us back into ourselves and recognizing our own intuitive, natural understanding and power and wisdom. We are constantly seeking external validation. We are constantly searching for the truth and answers and solutions, and we're looking to higher sources for that. And a lot of the things that we are looking for as humans are already right within us. So part of your body is an altar is a shift to kind of trick yourself. Like, it's kind of like just playing with your brain a little bit and rethinking some things. And it helps to just like remind you that this body is your home, and this body is your universe. This body is where your highest self exists. This body is an altar, and it is a sacred space. And when we dress with intention and treat our body as an altar, we can decide what to put on it, just like you would an altar. So a symbolic totem or talisman that you might put on an altar. And, you know, for people who might not know or understand like what an altar is, I'm just speaking very, very broadly, just that it is a space where you are honoring yourself. And it's a space where you are kind of bringing your spiritual self into awareness. So you can wear a piece of jewelry over your heart that connects you to somebody who's in your heart, you know, as an action of dressing yourself or treating yourself, your body, as an altar, and just respecting how you think about your body when you're putting clothes on, and trying to counteract that negative self-chatter, because the truth is there's always going to be some inkling of it there. So if we can just try to counteract the negative and say, like, no, like, this is a sacred space and I'm taking care of it and I'm dressing it and I'm preparing it to be seen in the way that I want to be seen. I love telling women that we are all multifaceted gems and we have lots of different angles, and we get to pick and choose and decide what angles we show, what days, and how we do that. And treating your body as an altar is definitely a way that you can do that. And I even like help folks develop dressing and beauty rituals. And this isn't adding a step to your life. This is adding meaning. This is adding intention. And what it is also doing, which is so amazing, is that it's streamlining and it's helping you save time and it's helping you clear out mental clutter. And sure, it might take some time to do a little bit of the deep work to get there. But once you've done it and you have these ideas and rituals and practices in place, you are saving time, you're saving energy, and you're like saving yourself from yourself so many times.
That's awesome. So does that go hand in hand with, and I'm going to flash this up here, you being a spirit style guide, though it sounds kind of like those are related. So what is spirit style and how can that help?
Yeah. So I like use the terms spirit style guide and confident stylist interchangeably. And in large part, like that's because confident stylist, for people who don't know me, seems like more of an understandable term. But really what I am is a spirit style guide. And your spirit, everybody's spirit style, everybody has a spirit style. Everybody can intuitively tap into their own spirit style. But your spirit style is a physical representation. This is your personal style. This is your personal brand being represented in style, but it's aligned with your spirit. It's aligned with your soul. It's aligned with what's important to you. It's aligned with your lifestyle and your personality and your history, your life experiences, your personal culture. All of those things are reflected in your spirit style. And this is the way that we can start to reclaim the narrative about ourselves. Like I mentioned earlier, we come up with all these stories about like, oh, she looked at me sideways in the grocery store. She probably saw this about me and thought this about me. And we just like do this all the time. Our brains just like never stop. But when we are aligned with our spirits and expressing that through our personal style, we become magnetic to our dreams and we stop sending mixed messages to the universe. And I liken it to like being a cosmic GPS system, really. Like you're not saying like, I'm putting on this big hoodie and putting my sunglasses on and my flip flops so nobody sees me, but then I'm going to be really upset that I'm just not feeling the success that I think that I deserve to experience, because you're not like saying like the GPS, the satellite needs like something to connect to. And if you're not visible, it's not going to find you. It's not going to connect to you. So making yourself visible and expressing what it is that you're here for is the way to get the universe's attention. And you can do that with not just the universe, you can do that with potential clients, collaborators, bosses, whatever it is that you're like really looking for. So all of those things are combined in spirit style. And I think I already said that I think that personal style in general is just like the ultimate life hack, and spirit style, like really honing in, getting to know yourself, gifting yourself the opportunity to get to know yourself first is what you need to do before you can express yourself through your style. Like, how are you supposed to express something that you don't even understand? And like we keep coming back around to ignoring ourselves, putting ourselves last, putting everybody else in front of us, that is just distancing us further and further from who we really are, what our spirits are crying out for, and what we deserve and what we're actually here for to receive. So I like know that there are lots of ways to manifest and work hard and get what you want. But I just see this as a really potent like way to embody what you're here for. And it feels really intuitive and really feminine. And it also feels like something that not a lot of people are focused on, aware of, or have ever even really heard of before. I feel like opening up this conversation, I get the really exciting opportunity to open up a lot of people's minds to ideas like this. And
that's awesome.
It feels really juicy and wonderful to be able to share in that way.
That is awesome. I love that so much. So I know you have a gift for our ladies in the group. So if you'd like to share about that, and then also for those that have, resonated with this. And that's really, ladies, that's why I bring guests in here, because I know not necessarily everybody's going to, resonate with everything I say, but I want to give a broader exposure, for lack of a better word, to other people. So maybe, this is an area that you really resonate with and you need help with. So with that, Jessie, if you want to share what your free gift is for the ladies, and we'll put those in the comments afterwards, but also how can they, what's the best way for them to, get in touch with you so that they can, learn more or follow you or whatever it is that they would like to do.
Yeah, thanks, Sandy. Your group is so like beautiful and dynamic too. And just again, bringing it back around to the name of it, Mindful Confidence for Women, is just so great. And there are so many different ways to share about that. So again, thank you for allowing me to share. And I love the way that you share too. And it's really important for us to do this as women together and to support each other. So deep gratitude to you and everybody else that's watching, whenever it is that you're watching, if you're here now or at another time. And regardless of when or how that is, I do have a digital takeaway that I'd love to share with all of you that is a really important step to preparing yourself for being seen, being with people again. I feel like we are reopening ourselves up to a different world than it was before. And we're kind of crawling out of this pandemic crud and trying to figure out how to be social again and how to make friends and how to be successful and how to be seen. And a lot of the anxiety that comes with that can be eliminated by boosting your confidence and by just being prepared for it. So this link that Sandy just put up will take you to my guide that is called Survive in Style. And it's a line of questioning that you can guide yourself through. You can think about it. You can journal about it. My recent Shine and Rise challenge that Sandy participated in had some really beneficial journaling prompts. And I can see all of these questions being really helpful as a journaling prompt too. But what they are is a series of questions that really helps you outline and lay out how you want to be seen and how you can get there, how you can, this can help you figure out how to have the conversations that you want to have, how to not have the conversations that you don't want to have. So yes, it's going to help you figure out how to get dressed for an event, but it's also going to help you navigate the social anxiety of it all. So I call it gathering anxiety, just like the anxiety of being with a bunch of people again. And there's lots of ways that clothing and fashion can help us like self-soothe through those experiences. So this line of questioning in the Survive in Style guide will help you get there. And yes, so ways to stay connected with me. I am a member of this Facebook group. So my Facebook name is my name, Jessie Beardslee. send me a friend request if we're not already friends. And my business, Themis and Thread, at THEMIS and Thread. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, and my link tree has tons of links. I love putting stuff together. I love putting stuff out there. I have a website, themisandthread.com, with tons of resources. And I'm always really, really excited to have conversations about color, about confidence, about sustainability and style, about clean beauty. So if you just want to schedule a chat and talk about some things, I'd love to dive into any conversation with any of you tonight.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And ladies, we will put all of those links in the comments for you so that you can find her group, find her Instagram, get with her. And like she said, she is a member of this group, so you can always tag her in the group and or reach out in DMs, whichever. But and you will not be sorry. You will love having a conversation with her. So Jessie, thank you so much. And as I shared earlier, how synchronous everything is with the universe, because I got my Better Homes and Gardens magazine, and today I looked at it and it's all about living in color. So I just thought it was appropriate and timely that we were going to talk about color and style and all that. And this is about actually color in your home, but it's all, it's all, as she said, it's all energy and it's all connected. So Jessie, thank you again so much. Any final tidbit for the group before we close out our
sure
broadcast?
Yeah, the colors and synchronicity, I love that, like, kind of being the thing that we can just wrap ourselves in and take away from this chat is to just live your life in color and play with it and experiment with it. And if you do in your house or in your personal style, let us know. We would love to hear about it.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Jessie. Everybody, if you're watching this on the replay, put #replay, put your comments in there, and either Jessie or I, depending on who it's directed to, will make sure that we reply to all of your comments. So Jessie, again, thank you. I know on the East Coast it's after 9:30, so so those of you that are hanging with us, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we will be in touch soon. Thank you.
Sounds good. Good night, everybody. Thanks, Sandy.